the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Rise up, Red Sea. How's that sound? That's a little tongue-in-cheek, a little joke here on the Locked On Cardinals podcast to kick things off on a Monday episode. Big episode for you with your host, I'm Brack, Alex Clancy, hanging out with you. And Marco Wilson, fourth-round pick of the Arizona Cardinals, is going to join us in just a bit. We're going to maybe look into the Cardinals kicking the tires on a local product from Arizona, Chandler High School. N'Keal Harry, we're getting into that conversation. Of course, this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. Visit rockauto.com. Tell them Locked On sent you. Alex, like I said, rise up, Red Sea. Are you into it? Do we want to start every podcast like that?
Rise up, Red Sea? Absolutely. Why the hell not?
I don't know. I just that our podcast colleagues at the Locked On Network, they have a little phrase that they open each and every podcast with. You actually open one of our podcasts with just like, hey, how's it going?
Hi.
We're keeping it fresh. Yeah. And maybe we just go stock. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it catches on.
We'll come up with something. We'll group think this. We'll workshop that.
I'm more, my thought process right now is more in what, Marco Wilson, is he a better gamer than quarterback Kyler Murray? Both of them on e-gaming teams. We'll talk to the fourth round pick and whether or not he celebrated jumping 43 and a half inches in the air and pretty much solidifying himself as one of the top corners in the NFL draft.
Yeah, man. Like the Cardinals could have one of the best, most overlooked drafts that we've seen from Steve Keim. I mean, you have guys that dropped. Him and Takeout have dropped, and the prognosticators were both high on both of them. So, could be some exciting things to come here in the Rise Up Red Sea Nation or whatever.
If one of those guys hits, and we've been saying this for a while. I mean, if you bring in Malcolm Butler, you've got Byron Murphy, who I think a lot of people are comfortable with him in the slot. If Tay Gowan or Marco Wilson can become starting caliber cornerback sooner rather than later, or just make big plays for this defense in a part-time role, they're going to be in a really good spot this season. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, the difficult part about this is they may be asked to perform earlier than they're ready to perform. And that's something with Byron Murphy. We saw it 2 years ago. Patrick Peterson got popped for PEDs. He was the de facto CB1, and he got absolutely torched because he just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready, and it's not their fault. They're 22 years old. They're kids. Sometimes players pop. Sometimes you have the Marshawn Lattimores and the Marcus Peters when he was young, and Jalen Ramsey was ready right away, but that doesn't mean that that's a thing. It's a Patrick Mahomes exception to the rule and not the rule. With Tay Gowan and Marco Wilson, we'll ask him about this. Two Florida kids, two guys that know of each other, via a common coach. They may be asked to jump into roles that they may not be ready to execute, but then they could surprise and be ready to roll. Like, honestly, you would love to see them sit a little bit more than play in their first year, but if they're ready to play, they're going to get thrown in the fire.
Yeah, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Some great content up there, like the Jason Moore interview from the Fantasy Footballers last week. We've got the great interview coming up with Marco Wilson here in just a few minutes. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Leave a review, leave a rating, anything. We appreciate it. So Adam Patrick of Raising Zona, he put this together that from Patriots Wire, they identified, the writer over there for Patriots Wire, identified the Arizona Cardinals. This was Henry McKenna. He listed the Cardinals as a potential trade candidate for former Chandler High School Wolf N'Keal Harry, former Arizona State standout N'Keal Harry. It's been two pretty trying seasons. Three pretty trying seasons for N'Keal Harry, right? Two. You're right. You're right. So same draft as DK Metcalf, same draft as Andy Isabella. N'Keal Harry more so Andy Isabella production than DK Metcalf.
Yeah, and he would have been the Cardinals pick at 33 if the Patriots didn't take him at 32. I mean, he would have been an Arizona Cardinal if the Patriots didn't take him at 32. They love the hometown, ASU. Let's roll him over to Glendale. Bo, here's the thing about N'Keal Harry. We saw it with Hakeem Butler. Okay, Hakeem Butler, they're not the same because N'Keal Harry was a standout prospect coming out of ASU, out of college. Hakeem Butler was looked at by some as that, but he wasn't as well known. Coming out of Iowa State, one of the better guys, down the sidelines, and now he couldn't huck it as a tight end in Philly. Would you offer a 7th-round pick for N'Keal Harry? And if so, say yes, because a 7th-round pick is a crapshoot to begin with. You're getting a 6'4" homegrown talent. At this point, trading for one and drafting one at the top of the 2nd round, completely different things. Would the Patriots move on from N'Keal Harry for an afterthought of a draft pick, by all accounts?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we know that Bill Belichick doesn't wait around for players to develop. It's been too long, probably, in his opinion, and I think that there's a couple things here. I would absolutely give up a 7th-round pick for a guy like N'Keal Harry. I think that it's worth the investment. And who in New England did N'Keal Harry have as a mentor? Little Julian Edelman? They don't play the same type of role in an offense. They're not built similar. I mean, who better to learn from than DeAndre Hopkins or AJ Green? I think that it's a great opportunity for a guy come home, be comfortable where he grew up, and then put that incredible skill set and size to work.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you think of the bad wide receiver rooms that Tom Brady's had. Let's talk about the last few years. Aaron Dobson. What was his name? Thompson, Kelvin Thompson, Tompkins, something like that. I can't remember his name. There was 2 of them that made plays because there was nobody else to play wide receiver for the Patriots. I wonder if you could throw N'Keal Harry into that, where it's just, you're right. It's not an offensive minded it's not real. The Patriots has never been an offensive juggernaut. It's always been predicated on the defense and smart quarterback play to go along with the ability to run the air out of the ball when you have a lead. Sure, Randy Moss, everything. I'm not saying that Josh McDaniels nor Tom Brady are, overrated, but it's never been, we're going to outscore you. It's been, we're going to outsmart you. We're going to hit you in the mouth. And when you have an offense like the Cardinals have, it's the antithesis of that. There's a lot more fat. It's not trimmed as much as the Patriots, kind of militaristic way of things. But I think a 6'4" wide receiver is willing to prove himself. If he comes in, he's going to be wide receiver 3 immediately. Like, I would take his upside over Christian Kirk at this point.
Well,
I would take his upside.
I would take. I mean, Christian Kirk has established himself as with the ability to get open and make plays. Where N'Keal Harry is still, he's trying to find himself on the NFL playing field. I think it's a worthy risk. I do. I think if there's any team that could take that risk at this point, why not? And if it doesn't work out, oh well, move on. You wasted a 7th-round pick. We are going to talk to Arizona Cardinals 4th-round pick, Marco Wilson. He's teaming up with XSET. It's e-gaming. It's gaming remixed. Check them out at XSET. Check out Marco Wilson. Next, he joins Alex and myself on Locked On Cardinals. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by Built Bar. Built.com, of course, the best tasting protein bar on the market. Right now, they've got a limited time flavor that you have to check out. Grasshopper cookie bar with real cookie pieces, like the mint cookie from the Girl Scouts. It's delicious, and it's a protein bar that tastes exactly like that delicious cookie. It's the Grasshopper cookie. Go to Built.com right now and use the promo code LOCKED15 to save yourself 15% off. Or you can get the limited time flavor for the entire summer of orange and strawberry. Both of those are money, plus your 9 OG Built Bar flavors that we all know and love. Coconut, cherry, barcia, raspberry, mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, strawberry, orange, cookies and cream, German chocolate. Those are all delicious. And guess what? They've all got about 17 to 18 grams of muscle packing protein. Of course, the calories is 130 to about 180 in each bar, only 4 grams of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs, all amazing flavors, all tasty, all healthy. And right now, as I mentioned, go to built.com. Use the promo code LOCKED15. You'll get 15% off your order. That's using the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. Locked On Cardinals. We're excited to be joined by 2021 Arizona Cardinals 4th-round pick, cornerback Marco Wilson. Marco, pumped to have you on. Cards fans, they'll get to know you a little bit better. And look, you had an electric pro day. We're going to get into that. But you recently teamed up with XSET, Gaming Remix. Right out of the gates, Kyler Murray, does he now have competition for the best man on the sticks in the Cardinals locker room?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's the elder statesman of the group, right? I mean, he's not the elder statesman for many rooms, but you're the young buck coming in. I mean, I'm sure every generation's got different. Like, what's your game? What's your go-to game? If you had to pick one for the rest of your life,
definitely Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah. So, is that part of your partnership with XSET? Are you going to be playing some COD with them?
Yeah, I will be.
Nice, creating some content. So, So your strength is Call of Duty. Is Kyler Murray more kind of versed in the like Madden ranks or what?
Yeah, I believe he did, but I see him play a lot of Madden as well. I'm terrible at Madden. I don't like playing. If I ever played him,
you can share that
Madden,
with Alex.
Yeah, Madden's it's not for me, honestly.
Marco Wilson, 4th-round pick for the Arizona Cardinals, joins us here on Locked On Cardinals. And, just talking about the XSET connection as you announced your partnership, and we were excited to get you on. Tell us just more about what you're going to be doing with them.
It's an opportunity to be able to represent XSET, like being a member of XSET, still doing what I do off the field, which is streaming on Twitch and content at YouTube. So it's just basically just doing those things still, but just now as a member of, and then now it's just opening opportunities with sponsorships, go to bigger events and get my name out there and just represent them in a great way.
That's badass. Well, there's one thing that you don't know that you'll know very quickly is that Brack is the president of the Marco Wilson fan club. I don't know if you knew that. When he saw the measurables, dude, at the pro day, Bo's like, the Cardinals have to go get this guy. We talked about it. And just tell us what it's like. He'll grovel later. Tell us what it was like since the end of college football to hearing your name called in the 4th round of the NFL draft. What was that process like?
It was really a grind, honestly. I was really focused on my training after I finished the season, trying to make sure I would have a great pro day or combine. I found out the combine got canceled, so then I just had to focus on having a great and then after that is just keeping your mind right and just continue to work hard and just stay prepared, because I knew I'd end up on a team. I just didn't know, and I knew whenever my name got called I would have to come in and be ready to train and start doing camp and all types of stuff.
4.3, 540, an absurd 43.5-inch vertical. Is that just kind of business per usual for Marco Wilson, or do you go home, play Xbox, or do you go celebrate a performance like that?
Definitely had a good time with my friends after that performance. But most of the time, I usually just hang out and play the game. Honestly, I don't shout too often. I just like to relax and just beat them and do my own thing.
You'll get introduced to Scottsdale at some point, man. It's we're happy. We love, like, Bo and I. We talk a lot about Kyler and how he gets a lot of flack for being a gamer. It's like, why? Just because he doesn't like going jumping up and down on stripper poles and stuff like some people do, you know? Like amateur. I don't know what people are into, but like playing video games, it's like it's cool. I mean, it's a new mainstream, streamlined way for people to just enjoy time with their friends and not be out and about.
Definitely is. I feel like some people just they for some odd, like maybe a distraction or something. But what people fail to realize, probably 98% of the people on the team play video games. It's just in the sense of what Kyler's doing. You're playing with a purpose. Honestly, you're doing it to build your brand. He's building his brand with FaZe. The game, like something that everyone does, just enjoying. So he's not just sitting there and just sitting on his behind for how many hours just playing a game. He's doing it, and building his brand and doing that. So it's really a smart opportunity. Gaming is honestly just as big as music and he's in TV shows now. So it's just a growing business, and it gives people to connect with other people and build relationships, build a community, and it's honestly amazing.
For sure. Now, let me ask you quickly. It seems like you're going to be storyline paired with your later round counterpart in Tay Gowan, another secondary guy, played college football in Florida. Do you know him at all? Did you guys play against each other in high school? Like, was there any sort of relationship before you just happened to play college football in the same state?
No, I honestly didn't know him beforehand, but we had a connection with my coach my freshman year at Florida. Went to UCF and went to go coach him, and Tay told me that he would that coach would always just be bringing up my name and stuff, like trying to tell them like, you guys got to do this and this. And so he told me he was getting tired of hearing my name because the coach would always bring it up. It's a pretty funny story, but now that we had mini camp and I met him, I got with him a lot. It's a great guy. That's my guy.
So you guys are driving each other? I mean, is it competition, or is it, hey, we're in this together and we're just going to kind of navigate these waters, as 2021 draft class mates?
It's definitely just a way. We're just trying to help each other get better anyway. With learning the playbook and getting better on the field. I just feel like sticking together and just having a bond like that can help bring the best out of each other, and just it'll lead to the field and off the field, just doing the right things.
All right, Marco Wilson, one of the newest Arizona Cardinals to garner the red and white on Sundays. I got to ask you, and we're just us talking, okay? Were you starstruck at all seeing anybody that you've seen so far wearing an Arizona Cardinals uniform? Because, I mean, the profiles jumped. The profiles jumped up considerably this offseason. I know you have Hop, and I'm sure, he's him, but, like, seeing J.J. Watt and A.J. Green, guys that have been around for a long time, and maybe even Buddha, is there anybody that you saw you're like, oh, my God, I get to play with that guy?
Yeah, kind of. I'm excited with a lot of the guys like Buddha. I'm excited to play with him. We're on the same secondary, so that's big time. Mm-hmm. But it's really just I was literally a kid in high school and either a kid watching some of these guys play, and now I'm on the same team. So it's honestly and just realize it's a blessing to be here, and I want to watch guys and learn as much as possible as I can, to put myself in the door and to be able to provide for themselves and their family.
You're coming from a big-time program now. I mean, like, Florida is basically an NFL franchise for the most part. Like, you're not – you see big-time athletes. You guys are treated like professionals. Finally, you're not getting paid like one previous, but with the new rules, your successors are. But, I mean, what's the biggest difference between Gainesville and your first practices with the Cardinals? Any difference?
You can just tell it's just really professional level.
Yeah.
Everything, every aspect is just full and attention to detail on everything. There was a lot of attention to detail in my program. I feel like it's literally every aspect is attention to detail. And it makes me realize like this is why like it's literally a job, and like this is why they do what they get paid and why it's taken so seriously. So that's basically what I see. And it's just that I need to realize and make sure that I'm business day in and day out and moving forward.
Now, we'll shift to that in a second. I got to ask, though. The practices last year must have been bonkers at Florida. You're on the opposite side of the ball. I think Kyle Trask is maybe the most underrated guy to come out of the first two rounds. I don't know what other people were watching. That dude can huck it. And you have Kyle Pitts, obviously, with him. What were practices like? Like, do you guys get heated competition-wise?
It wasn't. It didn't really get like heated, but like it was just great competition. Always like it was mutual respect all around, and we just have to practice every day, knowing we're gonna get each other better. You're gonna win some, you're gonna lose, but at the same time, you know that we're getting prepared for Saturdays. And when Saturday comes, you're not gonna see people that are as good as the guys you have in blessing. So you know you're going against better competition all week. It's really exciting to have those type of guys in your team. So you know they're getting you prepared for even the next level.
And then you get the next level of that. You get Kyler Murray, you get DeAndre Hopkins, you get all these playmakers. J.J. Watt there, as Alex mentioned, all those big names. As far as you look at this Cardinals locker room, who stands out on the practice field? Anybody just like, lighten it up. We heard Buda Baker is notorious for just being just a vicious out there on the practice field.
Oh yeah, Buddha's he's insane. He's an animal. But like one thing that really stands out to me honestly is just he's a hell of a leader. Like he's just a huge leader, and I really like to see that out of him because knowing the player he is, a tremendous player he is, and now to actually see him in person and see how he acts like off the field and with the guys, it's really amazing. I see why he is what he is, and he has the success that and why he has the effect on defenses that he does.
Bo Brock, Alex Clancy, Locked On Cardinals with Marco Wilson. We're going to do one more segment, and then we'll let him go. We appreciate his time. He's, of course, partnered up with XSET. It's gaming remixed. He's going to vie for the Cardinals' top gamer on the roster with quarterback Kyler Murray. We'll be right back. It's Locked On Cardinals. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is also brought to you by our friends over at rockauto.com. Of course, a family business that's been selling auto parts for over 20 years. With the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it's impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts that you need. Why endure often pointless, seemingly intimidating questioning and wait there in person while the guy behind the counter orders parts on their computer, choosing usually only the brand in their warehouse that they happen to carry? You have computers with access to rockauto.com at your home and right there in your pocket. Save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend up to 30, 50, 100% more on the same parts from the chain store or car dealership? Rock Auto, the family business, serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Rock Auto prices reliably low for every customer. They have everything you could need. Brake parts, tail lamps, motor oil, even new carpet. Go to rockauto.com right now. See all the parts available for your car or truck, right? Locked On. And how did you hear about us box? So they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com. All right, back here, Locked On Cardinals. Marco Wilson, Cardinals' 4th-round pick, joins us, just absolutely lit up his pro day. 43.5-inch vertical. Did you expect to jump that high? Have you jumped 43.5 inches before, or was that higher than you expected or right on par?
That was right. That was just about right. While I was training, I hit her in training. So I kind of expected that I would do something like that when the time came for pro day.
Now, I'm going to ask about Vince Joseph in a second, but I'd be remiss. I keep forgetting. Are public sandwiches that good in Florida?
Oh, yeah.
Whenever I go to Florida, that's all these people are talking about. I'm like, it's a grocery store. I mean, there's Quiznos, there's Jersey Mike's, there's a bunch of different places. And you go to a damn grocery store for a sandwich?
Yeah, the public sandwiches are elite for sure.
I don't get it. I was there last year and I didn't go because I didn't believe it. Next time I will. Now, Vince Joseph has had an interesting coaching arc. You know, he was known as the DB guru in Miami, took a head coaching job, wasn't great in Denver. They didn't have a quarterback that's probably in the top 200 of all time at that point. So he was really kind of behind the curve. Then he comes and finds a home here, flips the defense back to what it was. And we saw last year the blitz packages after Chandler Jones got hurt keep Cardinals in games. It was like he was a wizard on the other side of the ball. How much did you know about Vance Joseph before you became one of his employees, as it were? And how excited are you to have him lead you on the defense?
I knew a little bit about him because I trained with a couple guys that in the Dolphins while I'm down here in Florida. A little bit about him. I knew that they really enjoyed his defensive scheme. And now being coached by him, I'm super excited. I like his scheme. I like he has a plan for the defense. So I'm just ready to continue learning and continue trying to strive to be the greatest.
Are you a goal setter? You set do you put on paper what your preseason goals are, or what's your expectation for your rookie season? You want to be a starter right away or what?
I'm not expecting to start right away or anything like that, but I definitely want to be able to go out there and get the opportunity to play and show what I can. But one of the main things for me, honestly, is I'm coming as a 2-year-old kid. I just want to learn a lot. I want as much knowledge as possible because I have a lot of guys around me who've been playing for years, and they know way more than I do. The thing I want to do is learn and try to grow mentally and physically throughout the season.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, we've been covering the team. We've lived in Phoenix for a while, and it's been A roller coaster, I guess you could say. I mean, 2015 was good, and then the NFC Championship game happened, and then 2018, the Cardinals were pretty much a college football team at 3-13 with Josh Rosen. Nobody was getting it. Was just a bad mix at that point. Now we're seeing a complete culture shift with the team that you are now on, and that's got to be. I mean, I'm sure that you obviously watch the NFL game. You get excited to watch football. Do you see the shift happening with this team from where they were last year, winning 8 games, kind of sliding back to the pack the second half of the year, to J.J. Watt at all, kind of shifting this to a different echelon altogether?
Yeah, I feel like the vibe of the team is really focused. Even though when I was there, it was early on in like the springtime where everyone might not be camp mode, but everyone's mindset seemed pretty focused, straightforward, and ready to just do all the things necessary so when around they can handle business and we can reach for a higher goal this year.
Malcolm Butler, did you get a good glimpse on the vet going to work there in practice? What's been working with the guy who made one of the biggest plays in Super Bowl history?
Cool, because like I said, I've been watching these guys on TV, and then now I'm finally playing with them. So it's cool to finally meet them and see how they work and see what they do to make us the players that they are.
Aside from the paycheck, obviously, what's the one big difference where because you were like, oh, this is a job now, you know, the jump from college to the pros. What's one thing you're like, oh, this is pretty cool? I didn't get this in college. Like day-to-day gear, whatever, swag, like well, I guess you got that in college too. But is there any sort of difference where you're like, oh, this is cool? I'm officially in the NFL now.
I'll probably say like the way the equipment works, because like you can get whatever gloves or cleats whenever you want. College, they wouldn't. You couldn't like if you wanted something, you probably have to like trade something back to get something. It's not like that. I think that's pretty cool.
I see the chain there, and that was your college number 3. Were you disappointed that Booty wanted to make the change to 3? You're wearing 20 your rookie season. It's a good looking number. Is that your number?
Yeah, 3 is my favorite number. I rocked it in college, but I mean, he's a vet. I mean, he's a hell of a safety, so I have no problem with him rocking that. But it's always something I can always rock this and just like know this is my favorite, means something to me. So I don't have to wear it. I mean, I'm just fine with 20.
He wears it because of Allen Iverson. Do you wear number 3 because of any other player, any hoops player, or NFL player?
No, I just like it. And then at the same time, my birthday is on the 3rd month, so that's kind of cool too.
Yeah, because there's some annoying ass numbers. I mean, come on, let's be real. Yeah. Like there's some numbers that people unless you're an old lineman, you don't have a choice. It's like every time I see Luka Doncic wearing 77, it's like get the hell out of here with that. Be an adult. Don't wear a hockey number. It's different here from Florida, obviously. Before we crack the mics, I mean, obviously the humidity's gone and it's immaculate here 8 months out of the year, even though there's no beach really within 5 or 6 hours. What's one thing that you are gonna miss from Florida besides Publix? I mean, let's talk about not grocery stores here.
I'll probably just say the Caribbean culture that's down here where I'm at. It's a lot of Caribbean culture, a lot of Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans. Stuff like that, food and the culture as well. Like it's harder to find out there. So at the same time, like you have the Mexican culture out there, so you can get Mexican foods and stuff like that, along with the beaches. But there's no problem. I can always come back to offseason.
San Diego, baby, you'll be on the right coast now. You don't have to wait till 10:30 to watch sporting events. Like you're gonna fall in love with that.
Yeah, true.
Marco Wilson, last question for you before we get you out of here. Of course, big thanks to your friends over there at XSET, who you partnered with, the gaming company, Gaming Remix, Rep the Set. Hashtag going on right now. Future Hall of Famer Patrick Peterson leaves the franchise for free agency, but you grew up like 15 minutes away from where Pete grew up. What do you know about P2 as you entered the organization where he was just an absolute standard for 10 seasons?
Like from what I've heard, I just know he was a real pro. He took care of his business on and off the field. The way he prepared was just outstanding. That's why he was able to be the player that he is. As long as he's a hell of a athlete. But being that type of athlete and doing that, putting that preparation together, you're a whole different player like he is. So I would strive to be just as good as he was because he set a high standard.
No doubt about it. Marco Wilson, make sure you're following on Twitter at MJW_era. You're looking for his work from XSET Gaming Remix. Of course, use the hashtag #RepTheSet. Marco, man, best of luck your rookie season, man. We're looking forward to seeing you get out there, play with Tay Gowan, with all the guys out there on this defense. It's going to be fun, man. Best of luck. Great stuff from Marco Wilson, the Arizona Cardinals 4th-round pick. Cannot wait to see him lace them up this season. That's going to do it for us. I'm Bo Brack. Make sure you follow along on Twitter at BOBRACK. Easiest way to find it, Bob Brack. Follow Alex at Clancy's Corner, and of course at Locked On AZ Cards. Please, if you enjoyed anything you saw today, like this video, subscribe to the channel Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Tomorrow, we're breaking it down. We finally know where ESPN NFL execs believe Kyler Murray ranks. Is he a top 10 quarterback? We'll let you know. It's been a fun episode. It's Locked On Cardinals, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Have a great Monday. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.